I looked at every Capital One credit card on their website, scrolling from top to bottom to find out what you should have in your wallet. And I came to the conclusion that there are really only 3 Capital One cards that you should be considering applying for. Of course, if you're very new to credit cards, something like the Capital One Quicksilver might be something on your radar, but if you want to maximize your Capital One miles for travel or get elite level benefits from a $0 annual fee card, these are the 3 best Capital One cards that you should be looking at. But before we get to my list, starting out with card number 3, we do need to talk about some application rules that Capital One has, or people say that they have. Starting with the 2 credit card rule. This is a complete rumor. If it was true in the past, well, Capital One no longer cares about this. People stay online that if you get 2 Capital One cards and you try to apply for a 3rd one, you will automatically get denied in all cases. This is very popular to state among blogs online, but this is not the case because there are many data points online through Reddit or Doctor of Credit or even YouTube videos, YouTube comment sections with people stating that they have 3 Capital One cards. Sometimes they even have 4. And so yes, even though this might have been a rule in the past, that is not the case anymore. There's another popular statement online that says if you've been approved for a Capital One card, you have to wait 6 months until you can get approved for another one. This would be called the 6-month rule, when it is not true whatsoever. Yes, maybe it was true at one point, but not anymore as of July 2024, because just like I said with the 2 card rule, there are many data points online and in YouTube comment sections. I'm sure people will say, yes, I did not have to wait the full 6 months to get approved for another Capital One card. Now, there is a very real thing out there that Capital One likes to state when denying people for their cards, and that is you've recently been approved for a Capital One card, so it would be too soon to approve you for another card, but many people have found that this is somewhere around 3 or 4 months, and it probably varies person to person and credit report to credit report, but this 6-month rule just is not true. If you're someone that's applying for a lot of cards, the 48-month rule is something you want to keep your eye on, and that states that existing or previous card members are not eligible for this product if they have received a new card member bonus for this product in the past 48 months. So if you got card number 3 on this list, then you'll have to wait 48 months or 4 years before you can get another welcome bonus on this exact card. So these are the 3 application rules I wanted to mention before getting into the cards. One of them is an actual rule, and the other 2, maybe there are rules at some point, but they don't apply anymore. And there's also a bonus application tip I want to mention with you, but right now let's get into the cards and then I'll let you know about that tip. So with that said, the 3rd best Capital One card is the Venture card. This is a $95 annual fee travel card, and most of the time the welcome bonus is going to be 75,000 Capital One miles after spending $4,000 in the first 3 months of holding this card. But right now there is a limited time offer of a $250 Capital One travel credit when you get approved for this card. I know that many of you might be watching this video long after the limited time offer expires, so the usual bonus is 75,000 Capital One miles, and that is such a solid bonus for a $95 annual fee card. These 75,000 Capital One miles are worth a minimum of $750 when you use this bonus for travel. And because this is a miles earning Capital One card, you are going to have access to Capital One's transfer partners. There's a long list of airline and hotel partners that Capital One has that will help you boost the value of your miles. You're going to be earning 5 times points on hotels and car rentals booked through Capital One Travel. That is Capital One's portal that they use right on the Capital One website. So all you have to do is go through that portal if you're booking a hotel or a car rental with this card, you earn 5 times miles. And then with any other purchase you make with this card, you're going to be earning 2 times miles. And that's what makes this card so powerful and also simple at the same time. And then there's also this $50 experience credit on every lifestyle collection stay. What's really nice is this credit for global entry or TSA pre-check, and you get TSA pre-check included when you apply for global entry, and I cannot recommend that enough. And then there's no foreign transaction fees on this card or with any card I'm mentioning in this video. And there's 2 expiring benefits on this card. At the end of 2024, the 2 complimentary lounge visits to the Capital One lounges are going away. You could just use this low annual fee card to get into those airport lounges, but you won't be able to at the end of this year. And then there is the Hertz 5-star status, which is the second highest tier of status with Hertz, but this is also going away at the end of the year. So with this third best Capital One card, who is it actually for? I would say that it is for anyone who wants to earn more Capital One miles. The welcome bonus, and especially this limited time offer, could be a huge persuading factor in determining if you should get this card. It can also be great for people that want a beginner travel card or just a simple travel card. This doesn't have to be for beginners only, but you could just get this card and try it out, and then if you like it, then maybe you can get a higher annual fee card from Capital One or any other issuer after that once you find out you really like travel cards. It may not be perfect for somebody that wants this card long term, because there are just other cards out there that are going to give you a tiny bit more for $95, or you may find out that you want a more premium travel card. I might make it my number 2 card in this video if I actually had hands-on experience with this card, but with the other 2, I do have experience. I know that they're great, and so I had to put this card number 3. And if you want to apply for any card mentioned in this video, Capital One does have a pre-approval tool. You can just search this up on Google, and you can see if you're pre-approved for any of these cards before applying for them. And when you're ready to apply for one of these cards, I do have links in my description that you can click on, and you can learn more. If you get approved for these cards, I get a little bit of commission at no cost to you, and it is a huge way to help make this channel even better. So card number 3 was a really good one, but now it gets even better, with card number 2 being the Capital One Savor 1. This comes with an annual fee of $0, so it will never hurt you to keep this card open, and it has a pretty nice welcome bonus of $200 after you spend $500 in the first 3 months. A very easy welcome bonus to hit. I'm sure that everyone has $500 worth of expenses in the next 3 months. And yes, it is cash back that you're earning, but if you have one of the venture cards from Capital One, you can convert your cash back into miles if you choose to do so at a rate of 1 cent equals 1 Capital One mile. So this $200 of cash back is going to equal 20,000 miles if you choose to convert it, or you can always just pocket the money. Another thing that comes with this card when you get approved is the 0% intro APR. So no interest on purchases in the first 15 months. And this is not a strategy that I would recommend a ton of people use, by paying for a purchase with this card and then not actually paying off your balance when your statement comes due. But it is on the website, so I'm gonna talk about it, and it can be useful for some people. The earning categories on this $0 annual fee card is so incredible. So we have 10% cash back on Uber and Uber Eats purchases through November 14th, 2024. So yes, this is expiring, it's going away, but it is a good perk to have for the next couple months. And then there is the 8% cash back that you're gonna get when you make purchases with this card through Capital One Entertainment. This is a portal online where you can get dining, sports, music. Then there's 5% cash back with hotels and car rentals booked through Capital One's travel portal. And this is similar to card number 3 in this video, the venture card, because that earned 5 times miles in this category. And then continuing on, there's 3% cash back in a ton of categories: dining, entertainment, streaming services, and grocery stores. And then 1% cash back on all other purchases. You're not going to be earning 2% cash back on every purchase everywhere, like with card number 3, but it is still a great card to use for a lot of situations. As far as major ongoing benefits with this card, I don't really see anything that's noteworthy except for no foreign transaction fees, but there is the expiring benefit of getting your Uber One membership paid for in full with a statement credit, as long as you charge that Uber One membership to this card, and that is also expiring on November 14th, just like the 10% cash back is also expiring. So this is a card that I would recommend to a ton of people. And who should apply for this card? Well, anyone that wants one of the top tier no annual fee cards. I personally think that it's my #1 favorite zero annual fee card, but that could be up to your interpretation on what you think is best. This is a beginner friendly card if you want to add this in the first couple of cards that you ever get, and it's also a complex card for anybody to apply for at any stage in their credit card journey, and I know that they can get value from this. And if you're already a card holder with Capital One and you have a miles earning card, you can always convert your cash back to miles. So if you are really travel focused in your credit card strategy, this credit card can still deserve a spot in your wallet. So card number 2 is so extremely solid. I'd highly recommend it. And now moving on to card number 1 in this video. And just remember, after this card, I do have a bonus application tip to share with you. So card number 1 is going to be the Capital One Venture X. I couldn't put any card here other than the Venture X because of how solid it is with all of its benefits. So it does have a $395 annual fee, but there are so many things that make that annual fee worth it that I just think it's the best Capital One card. It has a welcome offer of 75,000 Capital One miles when you spend $4,000 in the first 3 months. So very, very similar to the Venture card, but that Venture card just has a limited time offer right now. At a bare minimum, this welcome offer is worth $750 when you use your Capital One miles for travel purchases. But you could use your Capital One miles to transfer out to airline and hotel partners to get potentially way more value than $750. Starting off with a few benefits here, we have the $300 Capital One travel credit, where if you book travel of any kind through the portal, whether it's a hotel, a flight, a car rental, you can use this $300 travel credit to pay for that purchase. And you don't have to use it all in one go. You can use $100 here, $50 here until you use up the full $300. And then when you renew your annual fee, you'll get a new $300 travel credit. And also when you pay for that annual fee for the second time, you'll be getting 10,000 bonus anniversary miles deposited into your account. Like the website says, the 10,000 anniversary miles is equal to $100 when used for travel, or potentially more with those transfer partners. So as you can see, just those two perks alone, the $300 travel credit and the 10,000 anniversary miles, can make up for that $395 annual fee. But we are just getting started with this card because it does have a global entry or TSA pre-check credit that you can use to get even more value out of this card. And before we talk about all the benefits of this one, we do have the spending multipliers. You can earn 10 times miles on hotels and car rentals booked through the Capital One travel portal, and 5 times miles when you book flights through this portal, and then 2 times miles on anything else that you can think to spend your money on. So this card definitely favors using the Capital One travel portal, and I wouldn't recommend always booking your hotels and flights and car rentals through the Capital One website, but it is a great way to earn additional miles if you price match with some websites and you find out that you're not going to be paying anything extra on the Capital One portal. And a bonus category with this card, you're going to be earning 5 times miles on Capital One entertainment purchases through the end of 2025. Even though you might think that out of everything I've already stated, there's good value in the Venture X, but there's so much more too. You can get access to Capital One's lounges, which there's only 3 of them right now as of recording, but they are planning to add even more. You can also have access to Plaza Premium lounges all around the world and Priority Pass lounges all around the world. Priority Pass lounges are pretty solid outside of the United States, so this might be a good card to add. Of course, there's no foreign transaction fees, and a really nice thing about the Venture X is that there's free additional card holders. So with the Venture X, you do get 2 complimentary guest access into lounges, but if you add an additional card holder, well, they also can have guests into the lounges, so you can bring a lot of people into one lounge at one time. There's also cell phone protection, a complimentary prior subscription that I think is just some fancy magazine that I would never read. Then there's the $50 experience credit on every lifestyle collection stay. That is the same on the $95 Venture card, but then with the Venture X, there is the $100 Premier Collection experience credit, daily breakfast for 2, and other premium benefits, plus earn 10 times miles on hotel stays booked through Capital One Travel. I haven't researched the Premier Collection a whole lot because that's not really my style of travel, but if that's yours, well, this could be great for you. Then there's the expiring benefit of Hertz Presidential Circle status, the top status with Hertz that is going away at the end of 2024, but what isn't going away is primary car rental insurance with this card. So even if you don't go through Hertz, you go to any car rental company and then you can just get primary car rental insurance and deny any insurance they try to sell you at the desk. And there's referral bonuses with this card, and just as a reminder, if you want any of these cards in this video, I do have those links in the description. So who is this card for? Well, anybody that wants more Capital One miles. You could totally just get this card for the welcome offer and then decide in a year or 2 that this card isn't for you and cancel it. You could do that, or you could apply for this card because you want a premium travel card. And this card is nice because it has a $395 annual fee and gets you into lounges, where other cards that have lounge access are more expensive than this one. I also think this is a card for somebody that never wants to cancel it because of that low annual fee, the $300 travel credit, and the 10,000 bonus anniversary miles. I don't think anyone would ever need to cancel this card unless you're not traveling 1 or 2 times a year and you're just staying home for the full 12 months. So I did promise I would share one bonus application tip for you if you are going to apply for any of these cards. Capital One likes to pull from all 3 credit bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, and that is going to ding your score a little bit when you apply for a card. But I found something when I recently applied for my latest Capital One card. I actually froze Experian, and then Capital One pulled from the other 2 credit bureaus, TransUnion and Equifax, and approved me for the card. Capital One does say that they need all 3 bureaus unfrozen, but this has worked for me and other people that I found online, and this could also work for you to save you a hard inquiry on Experian. So with that said, if you want to learn about any cards in this video, I do have links down in the description. And if you want to learn more about the Savor one and the Venture X, also known as the Capital One Duo, I made a video about it right there. So thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.